Japan. A country where mountains, rivers, and sacred springs meet. Travelers often say, the water tastes different here. Purer. But is this romantic imagination? Or does Japan truly hold some of the world's purest natural waters? To answer this, we can't just rely on taste. We need to dig into the geology, the chemistry, and the culture that protects it. I've spent weeks analyzing the scientific archives, cross-referencing water quality data from alpine peaks to historic villages, to understand the real story behind Japan's legendary water. First, we need a baseline. Japan consistently ranks high in global environmental indexes, but that's often about tap water infrastructure. The real magic happens before the pipes. Most of Japan's water is soft. Scientifically, this means it has a low concentration of calcium and magnesium. But why? Because the water here doesn't just run off the surface, it spends decades traveling through volcanic rock. Take Ashino Hakai, near Mount Fuji. Hydrogeochemical studies show the water here is dominated by calcium bicarbonate. This specific chemical profile implies a long residence time underground. Essentially, the mountain acts as a massive, slow-motion filter, stripping away impurities and creating a water source that is chemically stable and incredibly consistent. But purity isn't just about minerals. It's about what is missing. I looked at data from Yakushima, a UNESCO World Heritage Island. It's a natural laboratory. The rainfall here is immense, flushing the system constantly. But the fascinating part is the ion analysis. Studies show that the only measurable ions in these streams come from sea spray and distant dust carried by the wind. And what's the implication? There is almost zero anthropogenic impact, no local pollution, no agricultural runoff. But purity is about testing all the inputs. This same isolation principle applies to Japan's highest peaks. Even in the northern Alps, at Mount Tadayama, scientists analyze fog water to track purity pulses, moments where the air mass is so clean, the water condenses with near distilled quality. It proves that Japan's geography isolates these water sources from modern contamination. Science explains the chemistry, but culture preserves it. We call this socio-hydrology, how human systems interact with water. In Gujo Hachiman, the water city, the Mizubun Canal System, or Sogisui, is over 400 years old. It's not just a drain, it's a highly structured, living ecosystem. The system is designed with sequential uses. The water is first used for drinking and washing rice upstream, then for dirty cleaning midstream, and finally flows into the lower channels where the carp live. The presence of carp isn't just for decoration, they are brilliant biological indicators. This creates a powerful social pressure, where the visual health of the fish becomes a daily check on human behavior and tradition. At places like Shiredo Falls, the water is considered sacred by Shinto tradition. This reverence acts as the ultimate conservation law: you don't pollute what you worship. This deep respect for water is built into the Japanese worldview. The very kanji for water is a drawing of a free-flowing stream, a reminder that water is a dynamic, living element that requires daily reverence. This ethos connects directly to the high culture of Kyoto. Kyoto is considered the intellectual center of Japan, where a culture of perfection was pursued. This is seen in everything: small, refined food portions, minimalist architecture, and the pursuit of a clear heart. The perfect natural ideal for this aesthetic is captured by the phrase, "Sanchisoni," the beauty of mountains looking purple and rivers appearing clear and pristine. This is the ultimate goal: clarity in life, clarity in water. This harmony of geology, climate, and cultural protection is what keeps these sources pristine. And purity isn't just chemistry, it can also be measured visually. This is Lake Mashu in Hokkaido. Historically, scientists used a simple tool, the Secchi disc, a white disc lowered into the water to measure light penetration. Mashu recorded transparency above 40 meters. To put that in perspective, the highest documented record globally is just 43 meters, from Lake Baikal, decades ago. Mashu is consistently at the limit of what is visually possible. This extreme clarity classifies the lake as oligotrophic. That's a scientific term meaning low nutrient. It's a critical ecological marker. Without measurable levels of nitrates and phosphorus, the primary productivity that leads to algal blooms cannot occur. The water is chemically starved of the very building blocks of life. And this optical purity isn't just restricted to massive lakes. Near Gujo, in Gifu, a small irrigation reservoir at Nemichi Shrine became a viral sensation known as Monet's Pond. Visually, it looks like a painting. But geologically, it is a marvel of filtration. The water originates from Mount Koga, filtering through layers of rhyolite, a silica-rich volcanic rock. Unlike other soils that leach minerals into the water, rhyolite is chemically stubborn. It releases almost no nutrients. Scientifically, this creates a sterile environment where algae find no foothold to bloom. The result? Water so transparent that the carp don't look like they are swimming, they look like they are flying. It is a perfect example of how Japan's geology accidentally creates art. So, are Japan's waters the purest in the world? Places like Iceland or Patagonia might compete on remote metrics, boasting glacial waters or untouched springs. But Japan is unique in a critical aspect: its accessibility. The purest waters here are not locked away, they are woven into the rhythm of daily life. A core tenet of socio-hydrology. This starts in villages like Shirakawago, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its unique Gasozukuri farmhouses were built alongside intricate water canals fed by mountain runoff. These systems were foundational to the village's survival, ensuring water was channeled and managed collectively for drinking, farming, and fire safety. The purity isn't a modern effort, it's a structural necessity embedded since the village's origin, illustrating a centuries-old contract with nature. This traditional stewardship scales up to modern urban centers. Kumamoto, a city of 700,000 people, relies entirely on a protected volcanic aquifer for its tap water supply. You don't have to hike for days to taste this geology, it is instantly accessible. Japan's approach is a rare harmony of high precipitation, relentless volcanic filtration, and cultural stewardship, making its exceptional purity available to millions. And this high standard also extends to agriculture. In Japan's northern Alps, we find Azumino, known as Wasabi Town. Here, the snowmelt filters through vast granite formations, creating water with an ultra-soft hardness of just 14 milligrams per liter. The success of the world's largest wasabi industry is a direct economic bioindicator of that purity. Without that ultra-clean, cold water, the wasabi simply cannot thrive. Japan's water quality is a reality, backed by centuries of geologic filtering and minimal human impact in these protected areas. It is soft, stable, and chemically distinct. Next time you visit, don't just buy bottled water. Find a local spring, bring a bottle, and taste the history yourself. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the science of water, hit like and subscribe. And tell me in the comments, which natural wonder in Japan should we analyze next?